There are some things that I just don't get. The other day, I got this email from Intel, gave me access, and I get these periodically, and I enter the little sweepstakes. I haven't won any game keys for a long time. When I first started signing up for these, I put in a lot of effort, and I ended up getting 2 or maybe 3 games. Vampire the Masquerade, and I think another one was Prop Night, and then there's a third one, I think, which was a Warhammer game or something like that. Anyways, I haven't won anything since then, so it's been over a year since I won and that's okay. You know, I don't really have time for video games anyways. If I want to continue to do my 3 channels, it's, yeah. Anyways, so I saw this and I was like, Intel is going to China. And judging by the language, they're going back to China, returns to China. Intel Extreme Masters returns to China for a thrilling Counter-Strike 2 tournament. Intel celebrates another year of Intel Extreme Masters success and invites you to watch top teams compete for $250,000 in prize money. Be sure to check out the fantastic array of giveaways from participating partners. Okay, first of all, given what has happened with other events that were staged in China, where the Chinese government is almost oppressive towards the foreigners that are coming in and are monitoring them and limiting their behavior and even behaving somewhat unfairly in competitions. I just, personally, if I were a professional gamer, I would not go to this game. I don't care about the $250,000. Not to mention, there are people that are discovering that they, not just in China, okay? I just have to be clear about that. There are people who have been having problems with, they will leave their computer in their hotel room and they will come back and they'll discover that their computer has been tampered with. Now, that may sound like paranoia, but there was one case where a man was interviewed on Darknet Diaries, which is Jack Rhysider's channel and website, and he does that on YouTube and also on Apple that I am aware of. And this man was at some hotel at some event, and he came into his room at an unexpected time, a time that wasn't normal for when he would be in his hotel room during this event, and his computer was missing. He went to get hotel security, but when he came back before security arrived, his computer was back, and it was just like this whole weird sequence of events where the computer was malfunctioning or it was missing or whatever, and then so it turned out that somebody had been in there, if I recall correctly, installing some kind of malware on his computer or something. And so, I'm not going to say that nobody ever comes into my apartment and does stuff to my computer. I just don't know. But, I'm not going to put myself into a situation where I make it easy for spies or criminals from wherever to meddle with my stuff. And personally, if I were going to go to an event in China, I would carry my devices with me at all times because, or honestly, anywheres, because you don't know who can get into your hotel room between the criminals, the spies, and the people who work at the hotel who are secretly a criminal or a spy or whatever. So looking at this, I'm just baffled why Intel is doing this. Now, maybe because Intel is playing to the audience in China because it's such a large audience. Well, heck, you can go to India and there's a large audience there too, although I'm not sure, like percentage-wise, which country with 1 billion plus people actually has gamers, the larger number of gamers, rather. All I can say is that this is, it it doesn't make sense to me to expose myself to increased risk, increased surveillance, increased restrictions in a country that is openly attempting to take over the world. Now, that said, America has always been of the mind, the country and stupid patriots who don't realize they're being used. Well, maybe not stupid, but naive. So America has worked for a long time to have very powerful control over the world. So it's like I don't like that either. I don't like what America does. I don't like what Europe does. I don't like what France has done to Northern Africa for getting close to, is it like 100 years now? Or maybe more than 100? And how that has resulted in an insurgency of Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Northern Africa and other kinds of terrorists, Boko Haram. It has really opened the door. In fact, I was talking to a coworker who is in the military, or he's a military medic, and he had been stationed in Niger for a while to help the government, which was pro-French, to deal with the risks of terrorists entering into and destabilizing Niger from all the countries around it, because it's basically every country around it is having either inviting them in or having problems with them because of insurgents or rebels or whatever. And then the government was I guess there was an election and the government was replaced, and the new government was anti-French. So they kicked the French out first, then they kicked out the Americans, which, that's fine. I mean, if you don't want help from another country, especially not France, that has been using all kinds of manipulative tactics to have control of African countries for their resources, just like America has done. I totally get that. But, anyways, I would never choose to enter countries like China, like North Korea, and certain other countries where they are very much a dictatorship and are well known. I mean, China has become extremely famous for their hacking teams who have stolen vast sums of wealth, and I think they're even being overshadowed a little bit by the Koreans, the North Koreans, who have staged some of the largest heists of fiat currency and cryptocurrency and NFTs the world has ever seen to date. In fact, they have been linked with the largest heists of these things in recent years. So yeah, I just have to, I understand that America and along with the other Five Eyes countries and the Nine Eyes countries and the 13 Eyes countries are all spying on us. And we've got other countries that are not in those organizations that are spying on us. But I don't see any point in making it easier for anybody. So, I won't use TikTok, for example. I won't use AliExpress. I won't use Temu. I won't use any of those countries that are, as much as I would like to. I mean, I don't have a problem from a financial perspective, of supporting the Chinese economy. But if there's this thing going on where the Chinese government is suppressing its people and hacking people in other countries and killing resistance and all kinds of stuff, for that reason alone, and the illegal data collection that the Chinese government does all the time through all these different companies that are controlled by or owned by Chinese companies, I can't be involved in that. I can't expose myself in a way. It's hard enough to keep malware, including especially Trojans, off your computer because they keep these hacking groups and state sponsored hacking groups continually are uploading Trojans to Google and Apple and other places. So it's hard enough to keep my computer clean from those things and stuff that's on websites that you don't even know exists. You're not downloading anything. You go to the wrong website, and it may have been built to infect your computer. It may have been compromised by criminals. I think of any hacking group that's doing nefarious things as criminals, even if they're being paid by the government to do so, American, European, whatever. It's just, there are so many risks on the internet, and it's so easy if you are doing things that are questionable on the internet, it's so easy for somebody who's watching you to collect material on you that they could use to manipulate you, to blackmail you and extort you and force you to do what they want, without even downloading anything deliberately that you're at all uncertain about. I'm uncertain about Steam. I have Steam on my computer, but I'm uncertain about it because it is if I remember correctly, it's one of the companies that is partially owned by a Chinese company. Yeah, so Intel, I really don't. I ensure that you have what you think is a financially good reason for it, but you are exposing all the competitors and your own company to direct access espionage without China having to do anything difficult in order to do that espionage. So I don't think it's wise. But that's me. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.